I am Jason Nathaniel Stum, Director of Strategy at Dealer Inspire. Can't believe I just did that. I can't believe I just did that because I didn't think there'd be anybody in here right at 1 o'clock. Gold star for everyone who arrived early today. So a good portion of you just got some free entertainment. I hope you enjoyed that. I'm never going to do that again, I promise. We're just going to wait like less than 1 minute because we have so many early arrivers. I don't want to delay too long here, but just want to give everyone an opportunity to get on before we get going. I'm excited. I got to tell you guys, this presentation, spoilers, it's a lot of fun to put together. And we have some really great review content in here. So stay for the content. But if you like Bill and Ted, you're going to love the Easter eggs because the slides are just peppered with them. But enough about that. Let's talk about why we are actually here today. As I said, my name is Jason Stum. I am the Director of Strategy at dealerinspire.com. And we are here today to talk to you about reviews. And now I see we've got quite a bit, of partners and clients on today, but I do see a few unfamiliar faces. So just in case you're meeting us for just the first or second time, we are Dealer Inspired. I'm just one of 600 passionate employees on a mission to future-proof dealerships with one connected platform that sells and services vehicles more efficiently. And today we're here to show you how you can revamp your review strategy to keep the most triumphant online word of mouth flowing about your dealership to drive more sales. Just one little piece of housekeeping before we continue. If you have any questions that pop up along the way, just type them in the chat right over there, and we have people standing by to get you the A's to your Q's. Now, so come with me, everybody. Let's jump in our time-traveling phone booth and go all the way back, I don't know, to 2012. It's a short trip. But, you know, this is when online business reviews really started to become a thing. At this time in history, your dealership's mission was probably simply, hey, let's get some good reviews, right? Pretty easy. And most dealers understood why they needed to establish their review presence online. So you implemented some kind of formal process to generate those reviews, whether it was at delivery, through email, or some other system. You simply started asking your customers, please leave us a review. And they did. And then the years went by and you started to accumulate more and more and more. Today, I mean, it's not uncommon to see dealers with hundreds, thousands, or even multiple thousands of excellent online reviews. So you might be thinking, why are we even talking about this today anyway? Didn't we figure this out way back when? Are we good? Can we go? No, you can't go. You got to stay because you're not done. If you haven't been paying attention to the shifting landscape of online reviews, your online presence could be in danger of flunking most heinously. No way. Yes way. No way. Yes way. No way. Yes, wait, I could do that 1,000 times. I've actually have done that 1,000 times. And this is why, because there's this giant trap that you can fall into if you're not careful. Again, you probably have hundreds, thousands of reviews that you collected the past 6, 7, or 8 years. And it is nice to pull up your Google My Business and see that you have like 1,989 reviews with a 4.5 star rating. But if at some point in time you stop paying attention to review generation because you felt like, hey, we've got enough, then you're missing out big time, because as great as those reviews are, it's only the freshest ones that matter most to shoppers. So 86% of folks say that reviews older than 3 months just aren't helpful. And now here's the kicker. Nearly half of all people say local business reviews need to be less than 2 weeks old to really impact their decision-making. 2 weeks old, which essentially tells us people are looking for near real-time advice when deciding where they want to shop. So what it comes down to is it's not how many reviews your dealership has, it's how fresh your reviews are, and this is key, and what they say about doing business at your dealership. And I'm not just referring to like that positive or negative sentiment. The actual words in the review count more than ever, which is something we're going to dive into here in a minute. But in order to do that, I'm going to need the help from some of my most excellent friends here at Dealer Inspire. I'm going to turn my camera off. So, first up, we got somebody that I've known since way back in my dealership days. That is Regional Account Supervisor Jim Bell. We also have our Rockin' Regional Account Trainer, Nicole Monfortin. And last but certainly not least, we have the $1 billion man Sales Territory Director, Ryan Klosneski. Jim, Ryan, Nicole, hi guys, how are you?
Hello, Jason. Doing well. Thank you for having us.
I'm so excited you're here. I would be more excited if I could see Ryan's face or hear his voice or get some.
Can you hear me?
Or gets, yes, I can hear you. Or
I think I'm stuck in the phone booth because it continuously tells me that the webcam can only have 3 simultaneous webcams on at once. It won't let me turn it on, unfortunately.
Oh my goodness, we'll be fine because mine is off and you'll be able to pop on in a minute. I just wanted to ask you guys really quick because I grew up with Bill and Ted. They're like my best friends, my older brothers. And I was 16 when that movie came out in 1989. Jim Bell, we got to be close to the same age. How old were you when Bill and Ted's came out?
I was 15.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, 15 okay. Or 16.
All right, I gotcha. Hey, Ryan, although we can't see you, how old were you, sir, when Bill and Ted's came out? Ryan's just gone. What about you, Nicole? How old were you when Bill and Ted's came out?
You guys are not going to like my answer. I was -5 years.
Oh, okay. -5. All right, so let's do this. We'll see, hopefully, Ryan later, and Nicole, we're definitely going to see you later. But Jim, stay up here with me because us grown-ups need to talk while those kids figure things out off camera. Oh,
adult guys have to stick together, man.
You know it, my man. So listen, if we can agree that having a steady stream of fresh reviews is a must for your dealership today, then you're going to have to update your overall review gen strategy to keep them coming in. Now, look, if you've been to any of our webinars the past few months, you know that we're not going to leave you hanging and say, hey, kid, go out there and figure this out. No, our experts are going to lay out a step-by-step roadmap that you can implement at your dealership today. And really, it's important you start doing this because the last thing you want to have to do a year from now is go find your own time-traveling phone booth. Not easy to do. So you can go back in time to today to warn yourself to pay attention to this webinar and prioritize review gen at your dealership once again, lest you suffer a most bogus defeat at the hands of the competition. So first things first, let's talk about generating reviews. And Jim Bell, before you joined us here at Dealer Inspire nearly 5 years ago, if you can believe that, isn't that crazy? You were at the dealership just like I was, but let's talk about some of those best practices that dealers can do today to consistently generate fresh reviews that people are wanting to see. What you got, man?
Most definitely. So there's one thing that's really important to understand that ties the need for having fresh reviews. So the average consumer reads 10 reviews before feeling able to trust the business or trust a business. So Jason, going back to your stats from the beginning, for 86% of people, that's 10 reviews less than 3 months old. And for 48% of people, that's 10 reviews less than 2 weeks old. So the first checkpoint as a dealer is to go out, look at your reviews on Google, Facebook, DealerRater, Cars.com, or whatever review platforms you want to focus on most. And do you have 10 new reviews in the last 3 months? How many do you have in the last 2 weeks? So based on what those numbers are, that's going to give you a good idea how much work you're going to have to do to get your revenue presence aligned with that consumer expectation. There's also a chance that you may find out what your review velocity is going to be. So you may find out you have to pump things up a little bit. So in order to make the most of every opportunity, a great place to start is having a landing page on your website dedicated to directing your customers to the review platforms that are most important to you. Not only is this helpful for getting people where they want to be, but it also helps you spread the love across all the different platforms. Some folks default to Google, but others may default to Facebook. So giving people that option to choose that platform they're most comfortable with will only increase the chances of them taking a few minutes to share their story online about their experience at the dealership. Also, if you have separate business listings for your sales and service departments, which is a best practice we recommend, especially on Google My Business, you want to make sure that those links are included on that landing page as well. Now, as far as getting your customer to the landing page, the best way to do it is simply send them a text. If you've been on any of our other webinars here the last few months, we've been hammering home the message that you need to adopt to a text-first mentality for all of your outbound communications. And asking for that review is no different. So 24 to 48 hours after you deliver that vehicle or close an RO in the service drive, send a text to that customer asking for a review with the link to that review gen page. We've seen roughly 50% increase with customers who received that request via text. You can definitely, or most certainly, send an email as well as an additional reminder. So when I was at the dealership, we had our CRM send an email out roughly 3 days after the vehicle was marked delivered in the CRM. The salesperson would let the customer know at time of delivery. Not only would they be getting the phone call or the email from the OEM, but they'd also be getting an email from themselves with a link for different review sites, including Google, Facebook, Cars.com, DealerRater. Those were the ones that I focused on, but I also would throw Yelp in there every once in a while, which that was kind of a love-hate relationship because we all were told we have to be on Yelp and all these different review sites. But I also like to kind of switch things up and kind of direct the customer where I wanted them to go just by changing up my email template. So you got to love Yelp and give them a little bit of love too.
I don't love hate related. I like how you said that, Jim. I don't know if it was much of a love relationship with you. Anyway, let's not get distracted here.
So Jason, you teased us a few minutes ago. But the words that people use in their reviews are more important more than ever. So in your outbound messaging to your customer, try to incorporate the words and phrases you'd want people to use in their reviews. While your happiest customers will probably be more than willing to give you that review online, it's human nature to sometimes look for the path of least resistance. So by setting up your customer with some subliminal word tracks in your email templates, maybe bolding some words or anything like that, you're more than likely to get the kind of positive review that will have the biggest impact with other in-market shoppers. And spoiler alert, search engines love it too. But we'll get to that more later. Hopefully if Ryan makes it back online. If you've noticed in the graphic examples here, the last 3 slides, there was a picture included in those text messages and emails. That's because 76% of shoppers find reviews with photos more helpful than those without. 76%, that's kind of crazy. So get a picture of your customers taking delivery of their vehicle at the dealership or in front of the dealership, or even in front of their house in their driveway. I mean, a lot of dealerships are doing home delivery. So get a picture of them in front of their house in their driveway with their new car. Send that via text or email to them when asking for that review, and remind them that most review platforms will allow you to include a basic picture. And this is all new too. Any dealership that has a basic free listing with DealerRater can download the DealerRater app and use the lot shot feature to help you do this quickly and easily. Then also we can't forget about fixed stops. I know a lot of times dealerships are really honed in on sales and the sales process and online sales presence, but let's not forget about fixed stops. If you think about it, that could be your biggest opportunity to get those reviews quickly. Your store may sell roughly 5 to 10 cars a day, but how many ROs are being written up in the service drive on a daily basis? 50, 100, 150? If you're hitting those customers as well, there's a huge opportunity to get traction really fast to gather those online reviews. So another thing I did when I was at the dealership was we set up an email from our service manager. Everyone loved Doug. So we set up in the CRM a similar email template to what the salesperson was sending out with the landing pages. And it was sent out roughly 7 days after the RO was closed out. I was also very selective on who I was sending that to. So I was only sending those out to basically 6 model years or newer, because those older vehicles, the customer may have dropped a ton of money on that vehicle, or the service writer may have come to them and proposed, hey, you know what? Your car is going to need a lot of service. It's going to cost a lot of money. So I didn't want to hit those unhappy customers because they may have been unhappy about the amount of money they had to spend. But that email would go out, but the service writers would also give a heads up on that email going out to them would follow up with them on a one-to-one basis, making sure that all was well the very next day. So let's not forget about those fixed op guys that really keep a lot of dealerships going these days. And lastly, how about QR codes, Jason? You
They're
remember
back,
QR
baby.
codes, yeah.
They're back.
They are back with a vengeance. So we recently published a blog on our website talking about why after a decade, QR codes are finally ready for prime time. And there's a ton of great tips on there. So if you haven't already checked it out, highly recommend checking it out at dealerinspire.com/blog. So I tried to buy in on QR codes years ago when they first came out. I thought, man, these things are awesome. But it did take a lot of time. Going out, generating the codes, printing them off, sticking them in the cars and different parts of the car. But the return, not return on investment, but the return on my time just wasn't cutting it. So I just kind of scrapped it. But now they are starting to make a comeback, and a lot of that has to do with our uncertain times with COVID. I mean, for example, even going to restaurants today, you may just be getting a piece of paper, not a menu, and it has a QR code on it. You scan it, sure enough, there brings up the menu. Then it comes time to pay. You scan it again, and you pay with your credit card right there within the website. I almost feel like I'm dining and dashing, and I want to tell the waitress, hey, I already paid, and walking out the door, because we're going to that touchless society. So definitely QR codes does have a presence here today. And using that QR code on the back of your business card, for example, is a great way to take someone right to that review landing page on your website and get them to place a review where they can easily leave you a review.
Hey, Jim, I'd hate to go off script here, but how do you know what it feels like to dine and dash?
I've never done it.
So what you meant to say is you imagine that's how dining and dashing.
Exactly.
Not just the way you said. I'm like, well, wait a second. I know you haven't. It's not that anyone can pin you. And QR code, it's crazy. You can't go to everywhere from Taco Bell to Home Depot to the NBA playoffs, man. You're seeing QR codes everywhere. We do have a great blog post written by some really smart guy who talks all about it over at dealerinspire.com/blog. So check that out. Next up, we are going to bring on Nicole Monforton. And Jim, thank you again for being here. But before we get Nicole on here to talk about responding to reviews, guys, we got to pay a few bills. So let's just get a word in from today's sponsor.
Did you know that Review Builder from DealerRater does all of that for you automatically? Get 5 times the reviews. 94% of them will be positive. And all the platforms that matter to you, including Facebook, Google, DealerRater, and Cars.com. To learn more, just go to dealerrater.com/review builder.
Okay, so getting those powerful positive reviews is great, but it's only half the battle. The other half is responding to those reviews, and Nicole Monforton is here to give us the best practices for responding to both triumphant and totally heinous reviews. Hey, Nicole, how are you?
That's right. Hello, Jason. Doing so well. Alrighty, guys. How you respond to the reviews is pretty much just as important as getting the review in the first place, because 97% of people who read reviews also read the business's responses to those reviews. And I can even tell you myself that whenever I see a review that has a response from the company, I'm definitely reading it. And to be honest, when I see those replies, I always view that brand in a better light, even if it was a negative review that was left in the first place. To me, it shows that they care. And as a consumer, that's important. And to prove that, 71% of consumers say they're more likely to choose a business that has responded to their existing reviews. So if you don't take the time to respond to all of your reviews across all platforms, then you're missing out on that big of an opportunity to start building positive sentiment towards your brand with a large portion of shoppers. Think about it like this. You're back at school. You just gave a killer presentation to your entire class. They loved it, you aced it, and you're feeling great. Then even your teacher comes up to you and compliments your presentation and all of the hard work that you put into it. Would you ignore your teacher's feedback and just walk away? That'd be pretty rude if you did, wouldn't it? Well, it's the same thing with an online review. Think about how often you truly go online to leave a positive review. Your customer is taking the time out of their busy day to say nice things about you and your business. And it would just be rude to not reply and thank them. So don't be rude. Respond to every single review that comes through. And when you do respond, be genuine. While you can absolutely have word tracks or a template available to quickly craft up a response, one thing you do not want to do is copy and paste the same response for each and every review. That's really just as egregious as not responding to reviews at all. You've got to make it look like you put in some effort into your response. And those who are reading your reviews and responses will see that there's a genuine interaction taking place and value that so much more. We've even got a tip here to help make your responses more genuine. Acknowledging the customer's experience by using their words left in their review in your reply. That shows that you're paying attention and engaging with your customer in a very personal way. Again, it will have a much bigger impact over something generic like, thank you for your business, hope you enjoy your car, with those who are checking out your reviews. And to give it a really personal touch, have whoever is responding to the reviews sign off with their name. Again, the idea is to genuinely thank your customer while also establishing with future customers the kind of experience that they can expect when choosing your dealership to buy or service their vehicle. Now, that being said, try as you might, you're not going to make everybody happy all of the time. And when things get a little sideways, that can often lead to your customer going online to publicly air their grievances. And now you might be thinking to yourself, well, how do I even address a negative review that's online? What should I say? When a customer leaves a negative review, you have to take a tactful approach to dealing with that negative review. The first step is to remain calm, respond, and be transparent. It's crucial that you address the issue and refrain from being confrontational. Regardless of what you think happened or what actually happened, your customer feels the way they feel, and it's posted online. So don't be confrontational, and instead, validate their feelings by offering a sincere apology up front. Also, don't feel like you have to solve the problem on the review platform itself. In fact, that usually doesn't end well. This also includes reviews or comments within Facebook and other social platforms too. Instead, provide next steps for further communication. You can leave your email address or even better, a phone number for the person to call to speak directly with the appropriate manager. And this last piece is crucial. By letting the reviewer know that the person responding is indeed a real person will go a long way to having a productive conversation. If you sign off as a generic customer service representative or provide an email like feedback@inspiremotors.com, you're less likely to actually get in contact with that customer.
Yeah, and that's a great point, Nicole. If I can jump in here real quick, sorry. Having written a lot of these review responses in a past life and having spoken on the phone with my fair share of upset customers, I can tell you that once they feel they're being heard and listened to, they often, soften up quite a bit. Sometimes we go online just to vent our frustrations, not expecting ever to be heard. And then when we are heard, it's usually a really positive thing. So don't be afraid to have these kind of conversations. Not only can it help you identify potential gaps in your sales and service processes, but it can actually turn it around upside down and retain that customer by listening and correcting what you're able to do.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, I know that dealing with negative reviews is not something that's comfortable, but if you follow the plan I just talked about, you'll do just fine. And just to be clear, let's take a look at a real life example of how not to respond to a review, just so we're all on the same page. Alrighty, so this is a real review left on September 5th, 2020. This dealership just can't get their act together. I've been trying to get an update on my vehicle in the service department for the past hour, but every time I call, I get a busy signal. Tried to use the chat on their website, but no one answered there either. Terrible customer service, not worth the aggravation. The business owner responds, "We tried calling our number with 4 cell phones at the same time, and all 4 went through. I'm not sure why you're getting a busy signal. I sent our website guy your comment about the chat not working. Sorry.
That's a real review.
I asked the same thing, Jason, and it's a real review.
So don't do that.
Don't do that.
In what world do you think that's? Anyway, sorry.
Right. Anyway, and just to close it out with one more stat from me, at least, I think it's super important for you to understand that for 32% of people, their next immediate step is to visit your website after reading your reviews and your responses. So being able to build consumer trust with your consumers before they've even visited your site is huge.
Yeah, and that is so huge. And Nicole, thank you for those awesome tips on how to respond to reviews, along with clearly what not to do. Next up, we're going to have Ryan Kwasniewski, who will show you some really clever and creative ways to use your reviews in your marketing. But first, let's get another quick word from today's sponsor.
Did you know? Auto response from DealerRater can do all of that for you automatically. Get automatic responses for all of your reviews, including negative reviews, all by humans, all quality. To learn more, just head to dealerrater.com/auto response.
Okay, Ryan, my fingers are crossed, buddy.
Can you
There's
see?
my guy.
There we go. There
Hey,
we go. There we go.
Wait, hold on a sec. Are we twins?
Wait a tick. Are you wearing the same shirt?
Oh my God, we're wearing the same shirt. I love RJ Ewing. He's
What
like
are the chances?
one of my number one favorite indie wrestling managers of all time. That's all I'm going to say.
I appreciate that. Retired.
Retired.
Maybe.
Hall of Famer. Maybe. All right. Let's Ryan, save us from ourselves, please. Tell us how we can use reviews in our marketing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I loved what Jim and Nicole were going through. But since everyone's been throwing out some excellent stats today, I thought I'd share one too. I think we can all agree that the overall star rating is important, but it shouldn't surprise you to hear that only 53% of people would consider using a business with less than 4 stars. I mean, how do you think I found this tubular jacket? So why would you not go out of your way to market your overall star rating in individual reviews? So let me ask you this. Who do you know that loves fresh review content just as much as consumers do? The search engines. Each new review is a free piece of content that search engines can index and associate with your dealership. Google will even go as far as highlighting common themes in the reviews so shoppers can quickly zoom through the topics that are most relatable to them. Remember when Jim was talking about keyword encouragement? This is why. The more people consistently mention your USPs in their reviews, the easier it will be for shoppers to see why they should pick you. So as your customers are going through and mentioning things like at-home delivery or online phone booth, car buying, they'll all get grouped together in your Google reviews. And look, we've known for years that the quality and quantity of reviews is the most powerful local SEO ranking factor. But the fact that Google comes right out and says it, that is when you know it's important, because Google rarely is forthcoming at all with anything that relates to how you optimize your website or local presence for search. Again, freshness comes into play here, not just the overall quantity of reviews. So it's possible that you can have fewer reviews than your competitors, but still outrank them with your overall fresh reviews that are getting done on a regular basis more recently. And as more and more people don't make it past page 1 on the search engines, being able to dominate your space for your websites and your reviews is only going to help your shoppers narrow down their choice sooner. So as you're looking at the overall search, when you're doing that, a mentor of mine even went as far as saying that you could hide a dead body on page 2 and no one would ever find it.
Allegedly.
Now let's talk about the lifeblood of websites, SEO. SEO is a more passive marketing medium, meaning that if you follow the best practices to generate new reviews, you will be rewarded in the world of search engines. As far as taking maybe a more active approach, because everyone is like, I want to have it happen to me now. I want results now. Well, the way that you could do that is start incorporating those reviews into your paid search campaigns. You may not have known, Jason, but there's an ad extension that will allow you to show your star ratings and your overall ratings from Google right in your ads. If a dealership has at least 100 unique reviews in the past 12 months with an average rating of 3 or 3.5 or better, then you are eligible to activate this extension. Just note, hold on a second. Woo, woo, woo. Disclaimer alert, disclaimer alert. Like everything with the mothership, it is still up for Google to decide if they will actually show your extension within your ads. Regardless, it is still worth pursuing for your dealership. Another opportunity to shed some light on your dealership's reputation in your paid search ads is by incorporating a site link within the ad, which is going to be those things that are going to be underneath the ad copy. And I would have those actually linked to your review aggregation page on your website. This is a page that imports your dealership's best reviews across the entire web and displays them all in one place so your customer can come to your website and quickly go through all of them before they continue their journey. When you think about it, there's no better marketing content than a fresh review. That's a real person saying great things about you. That's a zillion times more impactful than you talking about yourself and talking about how great you are. Oh, and guess what? It's free. It's free, baby. And then you can't beat that price. Jason, you might be sitting there saying, how could I start doing this as a dealer right now? Well, you're probably already doing part of this. And what I mean by that is, for example, you could use the delivery pictures that you may be doing after a new or used car is sold and taking a short quote from the review and sharing it on Facebook and Instagram. So have fun with it. Show off to your followers what kind of experience they can expect at your dealership. You can also crank it up a notch and turn your reviews into a full-fledged campaign targeting local in-market shoppers who may not discovered you yet. If you were on last month's webinar, which you better have been, if not, go ahead and take a look at it on Dealer Inspire's YouTube page, Facebook page, anywhere you can find it. That's definitely worth watching. But you may remember the stat, 71% of top performing video ads actually featured branded messages compared to offer-based messages. So package those babies up and start using your reviews in your social advertising. So I get it. We've talked about the advertising thing throughout the entire presentation, especially on my side, but let's talk about how you can use your reviews in the day-to-day operations. Well, you know you have an opportunity to get your reviews involved and in front of your inbound leads. So you could do this a couple different ways. Every dealership does it differently, so it depends on how you are doing it internally at your own. If you have a BDC, they can use a link that will link to the review aggregation page on your website within the text, within your text or email follow-up campaign. If your store is handling those leads directly with your sales consultants and you happen to be a Dealer Rater certified dealer, you can actually just include the link to their personal review profile page on Dealer Rater and they can do a review right then and there. So we all know that it's getting more and more challenging to reach in-market customers, especially using video, thanks to the fact that we're all pretty much like scattered as well as Bill and Ted. Am I right? So traditional broadcasting and cable TV is more like a spray and pray approach, which doesn't really give you a whole lot of bang for your buck. But even digitally, people are just everywhere. They're on Facebook, YouTube, OTT streamers. You kind of also have to be everywhere with them. Luckily, Fuel IMV can reach the most amount of in-market shoppers in your area to make the biggest impression across multiple platforms and devices. So just like we were talking about on the social ads, you can package up your reviews into a 6, 15, 30-second video spot and serve those impactful messages to them so that way they're most likely to respond. You might be thinking, whoa, that's far out, man. But if there's one thing that I want you to take away from today's webinar, it's that your dealership's reputation is the most valuable asset you have. So please, if nothing else, go out of your way, incorporate your reputation into your website, show off your most recent positive reviews on the homepage, publish a testimonial landing page that aggregates your positive reviews across multiple sources. And in other words, give your visitors every reason why they should choose you while they're on your website. And if you're a DI customer, our managed service team can create homepage sliders, personalizers, social posts, email templates, and more just for you. Reach out to your PFM and get the scoop on that, because you're not going to want to miss out on highlighting those reviews on your website.
That's right. And you really don't want to miss out on any of this. And Ryan just said it, but I'm going to say it again. Your reputation is your most valuable asset. Take everything else away, and what do you have left here in the palm of your hand? Your reputation. So cherish it, nurture it, water it, grow it. This is what happens when Jason goes off script. He just starts talking.
There's nothing better than script. I love it.
Ryan, my man, thank you so much. I'm glad that you were able to get on after some earlier technical difficulties there. Just got a little bit here, but you know what? I got one last thing to do, and that is to listen to our sponsors one more time.
There's only one way to put your salespeople inside your website, and that's with Salesperson Connect from DealerRater. Available now. Just head to dealerrater.com/dealer to learn more. Note, salespeople not included.
I wasn't expecting that. Okay, so we did it. You guys taking notes? Did you grab some screenshots? Let's review this one last time. That's a pun. Yeah, let's review the review one last time. Your first step, generate excellent reviews. It's not how many reviews you have, it's how fresh they are and what they say. Respond to heinous and non-heinous reviews genuinely, every single review, every time, both good and bad. And remember, market your most triumphant reviews, because reviews are the best kind of content. So use them in your marketing campaigns. If you want to talk about any of the strategy we went over today, and you're already a Dealer Inspire client, we got you covered. Just reach out to your friendly neighborhood performance manager, and they will be more than happy to set up some time to go over your personal review strategy. And if you are not a DI client and you want to learn more about us, what we do, and how we can help you grow your business, contact information is right there up on the screen. Again, for all of our guests today, I'm going to see if I can get them all on camera here one last time. So I'm going to turn my Nicole and Ryan back on here for one last round of applause from our live at home in dealership audience. You guys, thank you. Well, there you are. Thank you guys. You did great. I'm so glad you were able to make it.
Thank you, Jason. You are a great host.
I do what I can.
Thanks, Jason.
No, thank you. Thank you. Party on and be excellent to each other. Have a good one, everybody.
Bye, everyone.